Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing so well, and welcome to another video. So this week's video, it's gonna be different of all the other videos that I did because the other videos were speed paints. But thanks for comment on my last video that asked me like, can you please explain a little bit of your drawing process? I'm gonna do a easy paint tool say tutorial. As you can see, I had the software in Spanish because I have this software since I started drawing 10 years ago in digital. So I didn't know English at that time. And it's been my partner since the beginning of my digital drawing process. So yeah, I'm gonna put you an image of how it's supposed to look in English. And I'm still gonna try to refer to the tabs, the titles, the tools in English. The first tab that we have is File. On this tab, we can create a new canvas, open an archive that we have, or open a recent canvas that we have worked on. We can save it like with another name of as another type of archive. We can export or work on these options. And let's start opening a new canvas. You can change the name on the first line. I'm gonna put say tutorial, and you can work with pixels, you can work with inches, centimeters, or millimeters. I usually work with pixels, and this is the resolution I use. You can also change it as pixel over inches or pixel over centimeters. And let's create it. If you press this button right here that is close, then you're gonna close the canvas that you had open. Look, it's just close the canvas, didn't close the entire software. If you press exit, then it's going to close the entire software. So this tab right here is edit, where you can undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, whatever the selection you want to do. The canvas tab is to change the resolution of your canvas, or if you want to change the size. Let's see, like, oh, I want to work with 4,000 pixels canvas. That's another thing about Paint Tool. Say it works with pixels, not with vectors. So if you draw a line and you zoom it, it's going to be all blurry. Let's go into talk now about our layers. We can create a new layer right here, a new line bar layer, a new group of layers. All of this I'm going to explain it on another video because there's a lot about layers. And you can transform your layer or turn it around, rotate it 90 degrees to the right, 90 degrees to the left, or rename your layer. With the selection tab, we can, like the name say, we can select something and then clean the selection or invert the selection. You can show it, or if you want to see the selection, then you press the button. You can select all of the selection or increment the selection that you did. With filter, we can change the matisse and saturation of the layer that we're on. The matisse is like the color, like the base color. Then saturation is if you want the color to be more bright or more gray. And luminance is if you want it to be more white or black, like whole black. Then we have bright and contrast if you want to be more brightness, like I said, white or black. More contrast. You can see this, the difference of this with a whole drawing with a lot of different colors, not with just one line. Then the view, you can create a new view, like this one right here and this one right here. To see the two different views that you have, you can press this button right here and you can see the whole two views. And you can see if you use one view, then it's not going to show on this. You can select the view, then zoom the view, and it's not going to show the changes until you drop the pen. Like I can do this whole line right here, and it's not going to show all the traces until I drop my pencil. I use a shortcut for undo, Control C, you know, the usual. But if you don't want to view it, you just can just close it and then press this button and you come back to normal. You know, rotate and zooming in, zooming out. You can do it all right here, but you can do it also with your mouse, with that middle part on the mouse. I forgot the name of what it's called, but in Spanish it's la ruedita, the little wheel on your mouse. You can zoom in, zoom out. If you want to see your whole canvas, you can just press this one right here and you can see all the canvas. Then if you press window, we can change whatever tools we want to see on our workspace. As you can see, I don't actually have or usually use the layers panel on the left. I use it on the right, so I just press this button right here and I can change the position of this thing. But let's say you want to have the color panel on your right and your layer panel on your left, and you can just select this, select show color and tools on the right, and you can change position of it. Or if you want to on the right, you can do it too. It's just whatever it's more comfortable for you, and this is more comfortable for me. I'm used to work on with the panels right like this. And then we have others. That the only important thing in others is the key shortcuts, where you can change anything you want. I think we changed like the two key shortcuts for two different tools, and the making big and making my pencil smaller. So now let's talk about this panel right here on the left, the color wheel panel and the tools panel. So as you can see, you have all of these options up here of your color wheel. That is, you know, the normal color wheel. We have these options in the window tab too, but I think with drawings it's more easy to see what are you doing. So this one right here is if you want to work with RGB colors. This one right here if you want to work with the hue, saturation, and value of the colors. And I have never used this tool, so I'm not know how to use it. But this one right here is your color palette. You can put all of the colors you want. Let's see, I want to put this color in here. You just need to right click on a square and establish, and it's right there. If you don't want that color anymore, if you want to erase it, then you just have to right click again and remove. If you can see, Cursor's shape changes when you put it over a color, and it's because it's automatically changes to the color picker tool. So let's say I wanna select this color, you just have to left click it, and I have the color now. I just work with these three panels. The color wheel, if you don't want to see it, you can press the symbol right here and it's gonna close the color wheel. But I use the color wheel, the hue, saturation, and value bars, and the color palette. You have another kind of color palette. This one, I have values right here written because it's like little canvas where you can put like, oh, I want to use this color later, or I need to remember what's the opacity of this color. So that's why I wrote the numbers right here. And if you don't want the colors anymore, you can just undo with this button right here. Down of the palette or the color wheel or whatever tool you have right here, we have the selections tool. We have this one that is to select in a square form or in a rectangle form. With this tool, you can use a function in Canvas that is cut for selection. It's gonna change the size of your canvas to the selection that you made. So let's press this button and the canvas is now smaller. If we go to canvas and then change size, it's smaller now. So we have to be careful with that because it can change the resolution of the drawing because it's smaller and we're working with pixels. If you select this tool, it's like the freeform. You can select whatever you want. If you press outside your selection, it's gonna just select everything. But let's see, I just want to select this part of the drawing. Then I just draw and then it's gonna move whatever I selected. This is the magic wand. If you use your magic wand, you need to use it with a close shape, like this one right here, because it's going to select like whole spot. And you can, as you can see, there's still a little spot that wasn't selected with the magic wand. It can happen. So you can just select tool that is right here and change the size of the tool and then select over here like okay, now it's all selected. If you like this part right here, like it's outside my drawing, I don't want that part selected, then you can press this tool right here that is the select and just clean that part. I use the magic wand a lot. It always select more from, like, it select parts of my line work I don't want to paint, so I use a layer over that one to don't affect my line work. So yeah, whatever, this is a tool to move whatever you selected. If you don't have anything selected, then it just move everything. This to zoom in, this is to rotate your canvas, like, but just the view of the canvas, not the whole canvas. If you press this button right here, you can just go back to a normal. And if you want to change or rotate the drawing, you can always go to layer and like you can do mirror, you can rotate it, and it changed the drawing. Don't change the canvas, change the drawing if you change your whatever thing in layer. With this thing you can move on your workspace, and this is the color picker tool, the usual tool. These are all of the tools that I have, but you can have more, you can have less, and you can change the characteristics of your tool. In here you can change if you want like drawing normal or in a multiply mode, the point of the pencil, the sizes are right here. If you want to put a texture, you can put a texture in this part and another one right here, and you can see it's different now. It's not just a line. If I put without texture in simple circle, it's going to look like this. I'm gonna do it bigger, it's going to look like this. It's different. This doesn't have texture, this have texture. You can also change the density of your pencil, your brush. I have it on 100 because I want bold. I want this pencil to do bold lines. But if you put it like 0, it's not gonna do anything. If you put it like 60, it's going to be like with more opacity. See? Like a marker. Like this, if you can see. It has this little opacity that if you're drawing like over it, you can see like how it's getting more and more and more bold, but you need to do a lot of lines. Okay, let's see, we want to split all of this, that I don't want to see anything of this anymore. You can just press this button on the right, that it cleans all the layer. You see? You don't have to press Ctrl C like a million times. With this button right here, you can create a new layer. So let's pick my base color to start drawing. It's this gray right here. I have it right here on my color palette. And let's select the bucket, and it's going to paint all of my canvas. Then on the next layer, I'm going to select this red right here and then my marker. And I'm gonna draw right here. As you can see, it's just working on the layer that I am on. But like I said, I'm gonna explain a little bit more of the layers on another video because there's a lot to explain about it. Let's see, I wanna work with making forms. We can select this new line work layer, and our tools are going to change. We have now pen, edit, pressures, weight, color, curve, and line. This tool right here makes curves. Meanwhile, this one right here makes lines. As the name say, it's like there's no trick in them. You need to press enter to finish your line, and with edit you can change the curve, like the points that you made, you can change them and see how it affects your figure. Now, if you want to create a new group of layers, you can press this button and then hold your layer and put it into your group. This little square right here, it shows you the view that you had when you're drawing. Like if I zoom out too much, you can see that the red square is so little, like really little, because I'm really into the drawing, like so close to the drawing. But if I may zoom out, then the square is going to be bigger because I have more view of the whole canvas and not just a piece of the drawing. If you want to, let's say I want to erase this layer, I don't want it anymore, you can just press the trash can. And I just want to talk about this stabilizer right here. I don't know how to explain it. I just know that you have a lot of numbers. If I press the 0 and I wanted to draw something, it's going to be weird. It's going to feel weird, like really fast, like so fast that I can't even really manipulate my lines. But if I press S7, it's so slow that it makes me impatient. Like it doesn't really do the lines as I want. So I like to work with 10. I think it's very precise of what I'm drawing, of what I want to draw. But you can try with all the numbers if you want and see which one of the stabilizers numbers works better for you. I recently changed my tablet and I have a new one that I work with 10, but before this one I used to work with 15 on the stabilizer. So it depends totally on you, on your tablet, and whatever it's more comfortable for you. So that's all for this video. I hope you find it interesting, you find it very helpful to start understanding a little bit of how the software Paint-Toolsay works. And if you want to use it, then go ahead. I think of artists that I know or that I follow start working with Paint-Toolsay. So that's why I use it. And I didn't start with Photoshop or another program or another software, sorry. Because yeah, all of my favorite artists used to work with Paint-Toolsay. In next video, I'm going to talk about the tools and about the layers and how you can work with them and the different modes they have, because there's a lot to talk about layers. Hope to see you next week with a new video. I don't know if it's going to be a continue of this tutorial series or maybe it's going to be a speed paint. I don't know. I'm still working on it. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, for being supportive. I really appreciate all the support that you gave me and all the love. Thank you so much and hope to see you pretty soon. Bye bye!